Hey guys, this is Yo. In my last video, I gave a bit of a basic overview on how Survival Hunter's primary cooldown, Coordinated Assault, how it works. If you have not yet watched that video, I would highly recommend it because I'm going to be talking a bit more about the more intricate stuff about that cooldown. And if you've not yet seen it, you'll probably be a bit confused as to what I'm talking about. So I'll have a link in the description for you to be able to watch that one first before coming back here and learning some advanced tips and tricks and cool tech. Otherwise, if you have already seen that video, let's get started. So I've got a numbered list of about 5 topics I want to talk about. So starting with number 1, empowerments are consumed on projectile hit, not on spellcast. The CA tooltip says that it empowers your next spell cast, but that's not exactly true. When we are throwing a bomb or when we are shooting a kill shot, we're creating a projectile that travels through the air before hitting our target. It's a ranged ability, and that's how ranged abilities work. The CA empowerment is consumed and empowers your spell when your projectile hits a target, not when you initially cast that spell. So what does that look like? Well, in this example, this is our kill shot macro example that we had from our previous video. We are throwing a bomb at 10.8 seconds. If we are standing at max range and it takes a second of travel time for the bomb to hit our target and explode, if you are pressing your kill shot macro too early and causing your pet to attack too early, you could accidentally gain your empowerment and gain the empowerment while the bomb is still in the air. And when the bomb explodes and hits the target, it will munch that empowerment and you won't have that empowerment available for your kill shot. What does that look like in practice? Well, I've got this example here. We're going to see I'm going to cast CA and I'm going to throw a bomb here. While the bomb is still in the air, it is not yet exploded. I have not yet done any bomb damage. I am pressing my kill shot button, which is going to make my pet attack and give me my empowerment. I gained it too early, so you could see that flash of light on my weak aura before the bomb actually exploded. And that is going to munch the empowerment and cause my kill shot that I just shot to not be empowered. I didn't give any bleeds onto those target dummies, and I essentially just wasted that empowerment. We'll see it a bit smoother here. I'm going to throw a bomb. I'm going to press my kill shot while the bomb's midair, and I'm going to munch that empowerment. So that was a second unempowered kill shot. So that is an example of what we don't want to be doing. How do you remedy that? Well, you don't have to butcher your rotation. You just have to be aware that that is a thing. A good way to mitigate that, if you're standing next to your target, your travel time will be next to nothing, which means you will have a very, very little chance of accidentally munching your empowerment. If you are in range because of whatever mechanics you're trying to do during CA, then it just means you have to be aware of it. It means you might need to wait a little bit. You won't be able to spell queue your kill shot. And you just have to be aware that if you're throwing a bomb, you got to wait for it to explode before empowering yourself. So let's move on to number 2. Kill shots don't have to be on your pet's target. When you gain your empowerment, you can then switch targets and kill shot something else. So in this same recording, we're going to see when I gain this empowerment, coming up right here, I can switch my targets now that I'm empowered and kill shot those guys over there. And those dummies all got their bleed. So again, I'm gaining my empowerment and I'm kill shotting something else. So you can switch targets as you want, and that will allow you to have a little bit more control over what you're doing damage to. You just have to be aware of where your pet's standing to be able to get that empowerment. Which brings us to our next topic. Pay attention to pet movement and stuns and CC. Stuns and CC is a little bit more towards the PvP side of things, but there are a few mechanics in this season of Dragonflight that can impair your pet's movement. For example, in Brackenhide, the big trees in the decay area will cast a circle that stuns things that stand in it. Right now, that includes pets as well. So if you are casting Coordinated Assault and Brackenhide during against those mobs, you might run into an issue where you're trying to empower yourself, but you can't because your pet is stunned and you're just wasting your empowerment time. So another thing you need to be paying attention to is making sure you are gaining your empowerments in time. So let's say you CA that dummy. That was a perfectly fine empowered kill shot. Pay attention to my frog here. If my frog is on this target dummy and I want to switch, if I don't gain the empowerment, my pet's going to get confused. I'm switching targets. It tries to pet attack this dummy, but I don't gain the empowerment because my frog was not close enough to actually hit it in time before my kill shot went off. So let's see. Let's watch that again. My pet is on this dummy. I switch targets and I kill shot. I don't gain an empowerment because my pet was not actually standing next to the target. It was not in range. So how do you remedy that? Well, the best way in my experience is to use kill command before gaining an empowerment. If you kill command, your pet will move really, really fast to your target and it will be able to immediately use its basic attack on your target. So you can see right here. Let's look at that again. I kill command, switch targets, and I'm able to immediately gain that empowerment. It's perfectly good. That will also give you the additional buff of being able to maintain your shredded armor if you're switching targets. So let's move on to our next topic. Number 4. Empowerments will last after Coordinated Assault ends, which means you can get 5 empowered kill shots, technically. I wouldn't recommend that. You kind of scuff your rotation if you go for a 5th one, because in Birds of Prey, you'll only be able to hit one target with that 5th kill shot. And in Bombardier, let's say you're single target on a raid boss. When CA is ending, you want to be casting bombs because you're gaining your Bombardier charges instead of shooting kill shots. Additionally, this is only possible when your target has less than 20% health. So CA gives us a buff when we're talented into it that allows us to kill shot on any target regardless of its health. But when CA ends, you can only kill shot on a target that has less than 20% health. It's an execute button. When we looked at this timeline, we're paying attention only to our kill shot cooldown. So we're casting CA, we're losing 1.2 seconds because of our GCD. We are kill shotting at 1.2 seconds, kill shotting at 6.2 seconds is our second one. Third kill shot is at 11.2 seconds, and our fourth kill shot is at 16.2 seconds. Well, this kill shot, its cooldown is going to be ending at 21.2 seconds. However, if you look at this, we can still pet attack during CA ends. CA is ending at 20 seconds, but our pet attack comes off cooldown at like 19 seconds in this example. And this CA buff, this empowerment buff, lasts for 3 seconds, which means this CA buff will last until 22 seconds after our initial CA hit. So that technically means this 5th kill shot, if our target is less than 20% health and kill shot is usable after CA ends, this one will be empowered. Same thing if you throw a bomb after CA ends, you can empower that bomb after CA, which is a perfectly fine use of your last empowerment if you have that available. What does that look like in practice? Well, I've got a recording here, and we're going to see. I'll make this a little bit faster. This is our first kill shot that we're shooting immediately. Second kill shot is going to be at about 14 seconds, 13 seconds left on the buff. Our third kill shot is coming up right here. This is a Birds of Prey kill shot, so it's hitting 4 targets. And this is our 4th kill shot that we're shooting at about 4 seconds left on the buff. You're going to see coming up right here, I gained that flash of the pet attack is off cooldown, and I'm pet attacking here, which is giving me the empowerment. This empowerment buff is going to last after Coordinated Assault ends, So the Coordinated Assault 20-second buff is gone, but we still have our empowerment. And right here, I can empower that 5th single kill shot on this target dummy. So we'll see that once more. I won't pause it this time. We'll be able to see it all in action. CA, first kill shot. 5 seconds pass, kill shot comes off cooldown. Second kill shot. And again, I'm not doing the full rotation. I just want to be paying attention to our kill shots. That was our 3rd one. Our 4th kill shot's coming up here. And we're getting our last empowerment buff for that 5th single kill shot. So that's a little bit of tech that you might not have known about. Lastly, going into our final topic, number 5. We're going to talk a little bit about square root scaling in the game. In my first video, we did a little bit of math and we came to a conclusion that we needed to hit 48 targets for our bomb empowerment to be better than our kill shot empowerment. That was a lie. Because of something called square root scaling and soft and hard damage caps. In the game of World of Warcraft, there are some hidden mechanics for a lot of our abilities. We have 5 target soft caps, 8 target soft caps, and 20 target hard damage caps. So this is attributed to ability by ability. Not everything is the same thing. Some abilities will have a 5 target cap, like Fury of the Eagle. You can see that in the tooltip that it does reduce damage beyond 5 targets. Bomb has an 8 target soft cap. And once we go over 8 targets that we're hitting, we start to induce something called square root scaling. So normally, when you're trying to calculate the total amount of damage a bomb explosion does, you can just do a fast multiplication. Let's say you hit 5 targets. In my example, my bomb was doing 19,000 damage. So you can do the quick math of 5 times 19,000 and come out to, what is that, 80,000? Let's bring out a calculator. I don't want to do that math in my head. 19,000 times 5, 95,000. There we go. See, I knew I couldn't trust my brain. Well, when we hit 8 targets, it will be the same thing. 8 times 19,000. 150,000 damage from a bomb exploding on 8 targets. When we go above 8 targets, square root scaling comes into play, and we have this additional factor that we have to include in our formula for how much damage the bomb is going to do. So let's say we hit 16 targets, right? We have a really big Mythic Plus pack that we're hitting. And our tank is getting pounded by 16 guys, and we're throwing a bomb on them. Well, let's calculate this square root factor. The target cap is 8 because it's a bomb. The number of targets is 16. So quickly, 8 divided by 16, 0.5. Next, we take the square root of 0.5, which is going to be about 0.7, 0.707 plus a bunch of extra stuff. This we have to now put into our damage calculation. So 0.707 times 16 times 19,000. So the bomb is going to do a total of 214,000 damage, 215,000 damage if you round up. If we want to see how much each individual target is getting hit for, we'll do that quick thing, gain our factor, and multiply this by 19,000. So instead of each target getting hit by 19,000, each target is actually getting hit for 13,400 damage. So the total damage is being split amongst those 16 targets. In our 8 target example, each target was getting hit for 19,000 damage. Additionally, pretty much every single ability in this game has a 20 target damage cap. So let's say we hit 20 targets. We'll do the same thing. 8 divided by 20, take the square root, multiply by 19,000 damage. In our 20 target example, everything's getting hit for 12,000 damage. Multiply by 20 for a total damage of 240,000 damage. If we hit 21 targets instead, we're not doing any additional damage. Our bomb is hard capped to do a total of 240,000 damage. So if we're hitting 20 targets, each target is getting hit for 12,000 damage. If we're hitting 25 targets, we're going to be staying at the same total damage, but it's going to be getting split evenly amongst those. So in a 25 target damage, we're doing 240,000 damage, or hitting each target individually for 9,600 damage. It might be a bit confusing explaining it by mouth, but to help with that, I've got some Excel or some Google Sheets, if you want to call it that. So we're going to be able to see the comparison of kill shot empowerment versus bomb empowerment based on the number of targets we're hitting. So in our first video, our kill shot damage was 82,000 damage. And we also had a talent improved kill shot, which increases the crit damage of kill shot by 25%. So it's actually going to be 180,000 damage when we're critting. And we're going to include crit into our empowerment calculations. Our bomb damage is 19,000 damage, and our bomb crit damage is 38,000 damage. It's just 2 times 19,000. And when I looked at my character, this is what my crit chance was. I had a 38% crit chance. So I'm not saying you need to have 38% crit. I'm just saying that's what I happen to have. So that's not a target. You don't need to hit that. That's just what seems really good for me right now. So let's go into our formulas. I'll give a quick overview. So pretty much for kill shot, if we're hitting less than 4 targets, we're going to be taking the number of targets multiplied by our crit chance. So 62% chance to do normal damage, 38% chance to do crit damage. And our empowerment is going to be a 50% bleed of that. Because it's a bleed, we have serrated shots. It's going to be doing an additional 10% damage on that. So our kill shot empowerment for 1 target is going to be 66,000 damage. And if I'm speaking too fast, I would recommend just rewatching it. I don't want to spend too much time. Our bomb empowerment, if we have less than 8 targets, that's our target cap, we're going to be doing 20% damage of our targets times our bomb chance, or our bomb damage. So 62% chance to do normal damage, 38% chance to do our crit damage. If we are hitting more than 8 targets, then we have this square root coming into play. So it's going to be the same formula. These guys and these guys are the same, just the number of targets. But when we hit 8 targets, we're adding that additional square root factor. So what does that look like? 1 target, we can easily say kill shot is doing way more damage. If we go down to 4 targets, we're going to see kill shot is doing 266,000 damage. Bomb empowerment is doing 20.9 thousand damage. This is still linear scaling. So square root scaling has not come into play yet. So 8 targets, 266, because our Birds of Prey kill shot is capped at 4 targets. Bomb empowerment scaled all the way up to 42,000 damage, just under. Above 8 targets, square root scaling is going to come into play. And we're going to see a lesser and lesser increase from target to target. So let's see, let's say this was that. We're going to see how much additional damage we're gaining per bomb target. So these first 8 guys were gaining 5,000 damage per additional target. When we go from 8 to 9, we're only gaining 2,500 damage. From 9 to 10, we're gaining 2.4 thousand damage. So you can see the total damage gained per target is getting lesser and lesser because of square root scaling. What does that look like in a chart form? Let's say we're not really good at just visualizing numbers. Let's insert a chart so we can see that first hand. It's going to be a line chart. I want this to be our targets. Oh, it's going to be our x-axis. Let's change our data range. Sorry, I'm doing this offhand. Let's say our kill shot is empowered. We can see that linear scaling followed by just a hard cap based on 4 targets. We could have 8 targets, we could have 10 targets. It doesn't matter. Our kill shot is only hitting 4 targets no matter what. So it's going to be hard capped at 4. If we were to switch this to bomb empowerment, we can see going from 0 to 8 damage, we're gaining a linear increase of damage. After we hit this 8 target mark, you can see the slope kind of changes. This is actually a square root function. So it's going to be gaining less and less as that damage, or as our targets are increased. So if we were to compare the two, we can see kill shot is just so much more valuable than bombs. It is absolutely insane, the difference between bomb empowerments and kill shot empowerments. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that we could justify empowering our bombs, but we really can't. The difference between kill shots and bombs is just such a vast difference. We really only want to be empowering our kill shots. It's just not worth the hassle of trying to empower bombs. Anyways, that was a long-winded explanation into damage caps, hard caps, soft caps, whatever you want to call it. I hope you learned something from this video. I know this is fairly niche in who it applies to, but I like talking about it. I love talking about it. If you want to reach out to me, you can feel free to comment, feel free to like, subscribe, whatever you want to do on YouTube. If you want to talk to me more personally, I'm very active in the True Shot Lounge Discord. I'll have a link to that in the description. And please know, I am not the theory crafter behind all of this. I'm not the one that came up with this. I don't want myself to be taking that credit. Credit goes out to the people in that Discord. That's going to be Thymond, that's going to be Dulby, Azertharian, all of those guys. Really smart people that are working on figuring out what is the best way for us to play this game. So please don't give me the credit of coming up with this. I just want to explain it in a way that is easier for you guys to understand. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. If you enjoyed this video, it's been what, like 22 minutes of me just talking about a single spell. If that interested you, I'll probably be making more videos in the future. So if you want to see those, feel free to subscribe. Anyways, you guys have a good one. Thanks.